Welcome to Bonkers Britain. The Sun newspaper are reporting that students at Barrowford Primary School near Nelson in Lancashire have taken meat off the menu. Pupils are only offered vegetarian dinners, and mums and dads are even being encouraged to actually send vegetarian food in their packed lunch boxes. The head teacher of the school, Rachel Tomlinson, said she'd made the decision to offer only vegetarian lunches to stop climate change. She went on to say, "Our children learn about the principles of sustainable development as part of the national curriculum and are really interested in how they can contribute to better looking after the environment. We made our school lunches meat-free to demonstrate how each of us making a small change to our daily habits can have a much wider positive impact, and that reducing meat consumption is just one way to do this." Give me strength. Whatever happened to teaching them writing, reading and arithmetic? Over the last 2 years, have our little people not suffered enough? Needless school closures, for which there is scant evidence the spread of COVID was reduced. And those closures have affected children's mental health, their academic development, their self-confidence, and of course, ultimately, their life chances. Stuck on a laptop, if the family was lucky enough to own one, watching Zoom lessons of haphazard quality. Kids couldn't interact with their friends, see their teachers face to face, or even pick up a football and have a kickabout in the local park. In fact, local parks had their own bizarre rules, including the truly dystopian image of taped-up playgrounds whose gates were bolted shut. And of course, children as young as 11 have been wearing face coverings for months on end, all day long in the classroom. I honestly can't understand the mentality of a teacher who thinks it's either necessary or in any way acceptable to cover the faces of children, particularly with those scientifically debatable masks. Some of our teachers have been heroic. But if you're a teacher that thinks school closures were justified and proportionate, then I suggest you're in the wrong occupation. If I was a school teacher, I would have wanted full classrooms throughout the pandemic. I would have confiscated every single face mask. It begs the question, how many people working in education actually like kids? Well, actions speak louder than words. And now with this policy of literally taking nutritious food off their plates, we're damaging kids further. It's like taking candy from a kid. Children who faced negligible threat from the virus were the foot soldiers of this pandemic, protecting grandma. What a sick role reversal. Using kids as cannon fodder is something I can't find precedent for anywhere in our history. Call this a wonderful, enlightened generation? Do me a favour. Any society that doesn't put kids first is no society at all. What we've done to children over the last 2 years will be lasting and not forgotten. So now, children are to be the foot soldiers in tackling climate change. And the way we're going to do that is to interfere with their nutrition, just as we are in the grip of a childhood obesity crisis. Well done, everyone. One parent featured in the Sun article raged that the new meal plan was brought in ages ago, and she'd only just found out why her daughter was talking about the disgusting new sausages at school. Here's what the mum had to say. She said, "My daughter ordered sausage and mash. When she bit into her sausage, she said, 'Ew.' She ended up just having mash for her dinner. I'm fuming." And so she should be. Another parent said, "No wonder my kids are starving," and raid the fridge before the shoes are off. "Vegetarian is a choice for when they are older." How right they are. Do you have any idea what a litany of horrors lurk within these highly processed vegetarian and vegan foods? Take a look at this. This is vegan bacon. It's not cheap, by the way, £2.50 for a pack. It's very slimy and oily. Here are the ingredients. Water, it's the first ingredient. Amazing, how nutritious. Sunflower oil, wheat protein, corn flour, carrageenan, E425, xanthan gum, pea protein, E40, E461, flavourings, fruit and vegetable fibres, salt, yeast extract, and so it goes on. Not natural, And frankly, they smell rank. I'm not having it. Now, of course, there are families and kids who go vegetarian by choice, sometimes for cultural, moral, or religious reasons. No problem. But the clear direction of travel is to brainwash our kids into ultimately going plant-based. Except that any nutritionist worth their salt will tell you that kids need protein to grow up strong and healthy. And the most bioavailable, easily absorbed source of protein for the body is animal protein. That's a fact. That's not opinion. Meat, fish, eggs, dairy. Don't take my word for it. The Mail write that putting your children on a trendy vegan diet makes them grow up short and with weaker bones, according to a new study. Researchers found that children aged 5 to 10 who eat plant-based diets are on average 3 centimetres shorter than those who eat meat. Their bones were also smaller and less strong, putting the children at risk of fractures or osteoporosis in later life. The study by University College London's Great Ormond Street Institute of Child Health said parents must be aware of the risks of vegan diets. They said vegan children should be given vitamin B12 and vitamin D supplements to reduce potentially long-term health consequences of being raised on plants only. It's not a ringing endorsement, is it? Shorter kids. And the environmental argument of a plant-based diet is debatable too, with staple items like corn, wheat, soy and grains requiring vast monocrop agriculture at odds with the cycle of nature and requiring vast amounts of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, not to mention the packaging and processing of these horrible fake meat products. If there's one thing we've learned during this pandemic, it's that we've got to put children first. And that starts with proper, balanced nutrition and 3 square meals a day, including at school. Kids deserve better than this processed rubbish. Take these vegetarian bangers, right? Look at that. Most of it's vegetable oil. How many stars would I give that out of 5? Not a sausage.